All right, let's see what I have going on here. First of all, I shot a video yesterday with Dunner, and we went out. We try. Okay, here's the deal. When you're watching the video, give me a break. When you're watching a video, we tried to start. We started off. We were trying to do a practice round in pro, and we couldn't get our pro accounts matched up, I don't think, and I think we ended up playing a rookie round, but I was thinking at the very beginning of it that we were playing pro because that's how we started off. So if I screw that up when you're watching it, just forgive me. That's how it works. But we were shooting it live, and my video got corrupted, but Dunner's was streamed live while we were playing it. So I'll put a link in this video, and you should, and start it. If he was shooting the checkpoint challenge for like the first 55 minutes of a stream, and then we started off kind of like the pre-show stuff at about 55 minutes. And so if you want, you can fast forward it to the 55 minutes, or you can watch all of Dunner's stream. He was like, he claimed, I wasn't paying attention when he was doing it, but he claimed he was like 8, he won like 7 or 8 in a row on the checkpoint challenge. So you can watch that, but I would encourage everybody to go do it, especially, and we were playing rookie, and if you're playing rookie, like especially if you have, not on every hole if you have upper developed clubs, but if you have upper developed clubs, we got some really good note material where we were just out practicing, and we got hooked up on every hole, so it was pretty awesome. But today I am working on my low level account, and I screwed up in the last tournament, and I was practicing one of the par 4s, and I thought I was in practice, but I was actually out there on the course. And when I got to out of the sand shot to recover, I thought I was just in practice, so I was just practicing the drive, so I forfeited and went from what would have been at least a birdie. I was right there. All I had to do was chip it on. If I didn't make it and get the eagle, I was almost guaranteed a birdie, and forfeited and was at +1. So that's a big swing, and because of that hole, I didn't make the fuck. I didn't make the weekend round. I think I did make the opening round, but I didn't make the weekend round. So I want to work on my clubs here. And I do have a couple clubs that I'm using on a regular basis that I can upgrade. I can get my Castaway to level 4, and it does get some accuracy at level 4. So Castaway. Level 4. Look at that big hitting club right there. Let me make sure. Let me go to Golf Clash and Notebook and look for sand wedge. The Castaway level 4 with a 0 power ball. It's a 3.0. It was 3.2, so now it's 3.0. And at mid it's 6. And it was 6.4, and at minimum it's 12, and it was 12.9. So it's 3, 6, and 9. All right. What else do I have? Anything else? Not using my Malibu yet. Now let's see. There's a certain point here where the Malibu's got some tools as far as accuracy and stuff, but it has accuracy and ball guide, and those two things are like what's missing a lot here. But the accuracy with the winds that you have in these low tours is not. We need to learn how to use the wind ring method, and if you can do the wind ring method with an 81 accuracy, you can do it with a 10, and so it's not that big of a deal to do it. And we're practicing our wind ring stuff, so this number is super important. But when we're playing one-on-one and we're learning how to use the wind ring method, it's not as important as it will become later when you really start getting much better clubs. Ball guide is key when you got low-level stuff, but this is a sand wedge, and for me, this is a recovery club. And it's always nice when you're up close and you got a great club for it, and you got ball guide, and you got accuracy, and I would rather have some topspin, but it has a lot of tools when you're in the bunker up by the green. But when you're in that bunker in the fairway, at the end of the fairway and you overshot it and you end up in the bunker and you've got a long shot to still get to the cup. This has more distance than any other sand wedge, or excuse me, the Castaway has more. That's why I have the Castaway in my bag, because it has, well, the Malibu just got upgraded in its yardage, so it's only one short, but I got 39 topspin versus 11. The ball guide is not as good, but that ball guide's usable. It's not a down and oneer ball guide. So until I get something that, I'm always going to be looking in sand wedge and rough iron for the longest hitting club in here. The exception to that rule is the fucking Amazon. and if we're playing tournaments, there may be holes that I bring the Amazon out on. All right, it looks like we got everything set up. Let me make sure let me look at my bags. Viper, and I have some choices here now. I do have my big dog up where I've got extra yardage in my big dog. I got a little bit more ball guide. Some holes I find myself wanting on the drive, but I've gotten a little bit bigger driver and it is helping me out. The big dog, there's definitely holes to bring the big dog out in. I should set up a bag. That's my extra mile bag. That's my extra mile with a big dog and a Goliath. There's my accurate bag. I'm going to take my stand. This is my number one bag right now. That's it. And I got a free shot here. Here we go. I will tell you need to watch Tommy's stuff on this, or at least go find his video and fast forward it to the spot where he does the deal. But you can watch his shots on there, how he adjusts for different winds. Oh, I played the wrong one. That's because I'm not sure the other one's available to me. And I'm in my long iron, so it's 1.6 per ring. 3 rings would be 5-1. That'd be like a 10% adjustment. Isn't it perfect? I wish I hadn't moved it. Just rolling out of it. I couldn't remember if I needed a little teeny bit of backspin or a little teeny bit of topspin. That's why you watch that video, then you'd know. You'd know the deal. I am just mystified in this account. I am mystified in this account that I have still no Horizon, Kingfisher, or Big Topper. I mean, those 3 clubs. And I've got 124 wins. Now, not all of them, I'd say at least 115 of them, 110 have been where I could possibly get at least a couple of those clubs, and I haven't gotten shit. No idea. And I've seen all 3 of them in the store, and they want 500 gems to get the first card, and it's not worth $5. The gems are like opening up chests and cycling through. I'm working on all my other stuff. Would I like to get those? Yeah, but 500 gems to get 1, or if you're opening up silvers and you just open them up over and over, that's 5 times 5. That's 25 silvers. Think about all the cards you're going to get in 25 silver chests in 2 or 3 or 4, and how much you'd get for 1 card. There's a word, it starts with an F, has some U and CKA stuff in there. ED, ends with an ED. Alright, I'm gonna play Tour 3 because I lost some trophies here. How did that happen? Shit, that looks like I lost like 2 in a row. I was missing 12. That's like 2. Jacking up my percentage. I think what happened on my video was it was totally my fault. Of course. What happened was we were changing accounts, and what I did was I paused the video so that I could change accounts and not show my account information, and which really wasn't a big deal because I think I just did it and we were streaming through Discord at the same time. Hold on. 4 divided by 2.4 is 1.66 rings. Probably could have did that math in my head. Isn't it perfect? And when we came back, I forgot to turn the video on. But I was having a problem with the sound at the beginning, so it probably wouldn't have came out all right. We were having a problem with sound in our devices. I wasn't using OBS and streaming off my computer. Usually what we do is we use OBS. We're both on Discord and we're both displaying our screen and we're both capturing it on that device and then putting it into OBS, and then you can set up the dual stream that way. Now if I can get up, which is a big if, we need tailwind here with a 0 Powerball in that distance. I can get up there. Excellent. Excellent. All right. I'm drawing angles in my brain here. I'm looking at this corner right here. And so I'm trying to make sure that I can cover that corner. And then I'm looking at my second bounce where it's at. My Viper's 2 per ring. So I'm going to do 1.1 rings. And I was trying to leave myself enough room so that when I curled it, even if I hit it good on the inside, I was giving myself room there for the, so you can see, here's the fairway, and this is the area I was hitting to, and I hit it good, and I came in with lots of room. I could have hit it good on the other side because I gave myself enough room in my shot for the, by the time the ball got to here, I wasn't trying to pinch up on either side. I wanted to be dead center in the middle so I could literally shank that shot and still have a great chance of making it through the fairway. There's some things that you can do in overpower. Guardian's really good at it because with all the overpower that it has, there's a lot of holes that you can literally overpower it onto the green with max backspin with impunity. Even if you, I think you'd have to fully shank that shot. Like do a hook, a full hook, in order to miss the green. I still have work to do. It's a little easier with a Firefly. The Firefly. Isn't it perfect? In the hole. All right, I know I've explained this before, but for those of you that are new to my videos and you're watching these where I'm playing the low level stuff and using the wind ring method and just aiming at the target and then pull out the wind and then shoot the shot. As you go up in the tours, you'll have, the adjustments become touchier because you got bigger winds and they'll throw you off. You'll have to start adding on a little or adjusting it. But here's the pin, here's the flagpole. When you're up close like that, think of the outside edge of the flagpole to the cup is 4 miles per hour on each side, so it's 8 miles per hour. When you start getting, like that's super close, but when you start getting, if you check the distance on your club, like max distance, you're here, here's your max distance, and I was down here. I was way down here in that shot. I mean, that's, the rough iron and your sand wedges are the most, and your wedge because you can hit it 1 millimeter in front of you out to its maximum distance. So its mid and minimum are huge. It's the whole club. Mid, minimum, max. So when you're down here close, wind's not typically that big of a factor. Now when you start getting into the 7, 8, 9 mile an hour winds, it starts to become a little bit of a factor when you're this close. And when you get above that, it is a factor. But when you're up close like this, thinking of the cup as being 8 miles per hour, but when you start getting, like, here's your mid club and here's your quarter club, and usually when you're within this quarter club, the 4 miles per hour is pretty accurate, especially if you're using a rapier where you're running your topspin, or a club like that where you're running your topspin. You start getting a little bit farther out, maybe into you're right in this range, you might start thinking about maybe putting it a little on the edge of the cup or the outside of the cup. When you're playing rookie, one of the big mistakes, especially when you first start, is don't aim towards the cup when you're up close like that, because a lot of times people are like, hey, the wind affected me this much when I was doing that drive shot, so I'm going to have to move it like a ring over. Hey, stay inside the cup. When you're a rookie, stay inside the cup. As you go up, you'll know when the winds are starting to affect stuff, and you'll cheat to one side or the other of the flagpole, but stay inside the cup. All right. I gave you a free lesson. That was a free lesson. Let's open up. I'm playing for gold chests here. We'll see how many we can get in an hour-long video. If I quit talking and just start playing. Playing Tour 3 because I really feel like you have a better shot of getting Tour 1 and Tour 2 epics and rares when you're playing Tour 3. I'm not sure it works that way, but it seems like when you're in the tour, you hardly get any of the Tour 3 stuff or the Tour 4 stuff if you're playing Tour 4. You get less. But I'm trying to stay down here low where I'm not diluting the pool. I don't have that many, there's not that many cards that are in the pool that I could possibly get a club card for. I'm not sure how the chests that we get, if they're based off of what tours you have open that you could possibly get to. Because it seems like I have some Tour 5 clubs that I got through these free chests. Perfecto! I think my extra mile is actually 2.6 with a 0 Powerball. But with a 3 Powerball, it's 2.4. That's the deal. That's the deal. Let's see if we can get this over there with no problemos. I want to give myself 2 rings on the right hand side, and I want to watch that second bounce. I don't want it to be too close, but I need it to be close enough. Divided by 2.6. 0.8 rings. That's with nothing extra. Hitting it perfect. Now, if you bring the right stuff, there's a rough bump that you can do here. But I didn't bring the right stuff, so I'll have to bounce. There's an island, then the sand trap, and then the green. I'll have to bounce over. But if you bring the right stuff here, you can do a rough bump right from this area and go right at it, and it is a really nice rough bump. In this situation, you'd be better served to just lay it up on one of those lily pads and give yourself an excellent shot. There's Max Club. Put a little bit of tungsten on it. It looks like it's going to roll down that hill, so I'm going to start off a little to the right. 2.3 at max. Viper 2.3 divided by 2 is 1.2 rings. 1.15. There's 1.1. There's the 1.5. Hitting it perfect. Perfecto. And then it was too fast. It was braking to the left, but I blew through the brake because I came through there too fast. I put a little bit of topspin on there, and I probably didn't need to put on any. I've taken several shots here in the last week or so with no spin at all, and I prefer to put on just a little bit of backspin. That way when the ball hits it, it's back spinning along, and it kind of scoots just a titch. That's where the backspin's kicking in. And then what it does when it scooches like that, then it just releases forward and rolls out. But when you don't put any spin on it at all, it can come in there where it hits and there's no spin on it. It just keeps that momentum up. And it can go a little hard. Because we all know what it looks like when you catch the slide. You're out there in the fairway and you're hitting a drive and you catch the slide and it hits the ground. And when it hit the ground, you can tell instantly it's going to get into the slide because it does. It slides for a second where it almost like slow-mo slides across the thing and then releases forward and makes a huge jump. Here. Oh, I should have tried to replay him. What was I thinking? Sakura Hills. There's one of the holes that's in here that I love playing because it's a great place to practice dunks. And I've made a lot of dunks on it. And you can do them with impunity. You can practice dunks, and if you screw up, you're still going to be on the green. I suppose if you got a really bad tag on the flagpole, you could end up in a bad spot, but yes, sir. With upper developed stuff, I try and put myself right here so that I can straighten out the shot to the cup. But with lower developed stuff, the whole goal is to get the hell out there where you can get into the range of your next club. It's 2.4 or 2.6, so it's about a ring. I'm going to do a ring in a little. Hitting it perfect. Rubbing the nubs. Yeah, that was a little more than rubbing, but I wasn't making the needle go any faster. I'd like to have a horizon. This is the deal. You got a club that you've been waiting for, you've been hoping that you get, and then by the time you finally get that club, you got some other club that's like now you got to get that club to like level 2 or 3 before it surpasses the club that you're using right now. And I think that's the horizon is definitely going to start going in the bag, I think, immediately. But I think the Kingfisher's got to get to like level 3. And here's the deal. I'm not going to try and make the eagle here or the Albie or whatever the hell it is on this hole. My whole goal is to get up there where I can give myself a short putt or a freaking short chip, and let's get on. Let's do that. So let's give myself lots of room. My club's got curl, so I'm gonna give myself couple rings of separation. What I'm looking for is that tip, like where's it going to go? 1.6, Viper's 2.0 per ring. I'm going to do the whole ring. Just give me a little more separation on that sand. So if I catch it great on the inside, just try and get up there and keep myself clean. I'm not trying to go for it. The deal is, if my opponent went for it and made it, well, then you got to go for it. But like in a situation like this, hey, make my opponent do the work. I'm not going to do the work for him by ending up in the shit and sand rough just like they did and make their job easy. I still have work to do, but I was playing somebody the other day and they they put their shot in the drink on the shootout, and then I just chipped it right in front of where I was at. I wasn't even going to take the shot, and they got pissed. It's like, hey man, playing for trophies. Do I look like I'm in a friendly mood today? Need to hit it perfect. And I hit it great. I think from that distance, a great will still go in. Barely. That's why you always want to aim at the flagpole, too. There's a certain distance you get away. If you hit it great to the left or the right, it'll just slightly miss. It'll be on the lip and miss. And you can cheat it. And you can set the shot up on one side of the flagpole or other. And if you hit it perfect, it'll go in right there. And if you hit it great on the side you opened up, it'll barely go in if your speed's right. But you'll miss everything on the other side. At least you got 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And if there's a break on that and you set it up so that if you do hit to the on the, let's say on the left hand side where it would normally miss, it might catch the break if the speed's right, and it still might go in. Let's get some of these rolling. Am I gonna get a gold chest today? That's the question. I'm gonna play this because I want to find that. I want to find the hole with the dunk. That's a fun hole. The Shifang Basin holes are fucking tough with low-level stuff. If your have low-level stuff, and if your opponent brings out a big ball, they can do it's. You definitely enhance your chances when you bring out a Titan as opposed to a Marlin on some holes. That extra distance makes a big difference. Maybe not just on the first shot, but on the second shot. But if you're playing down here and you're just using a mortal ball, these holes can be. What's cool is they have put little islands in here for us to bounce on. Some of the original holes that were out, a hole like this, if you weren't in the right spot and you didn't bring the right stuff, you were screwed. Like, there was only one way to get down there, and you had to bring out all the right shit in order to do it. They are in the clear. Very nice. Nice shot. Nice shot, my man. Okay, we want to do the same thing we did last time. We're 2 rings off. It's easy too when you get on holes and you're like, how the hell do I play this hole? And you start setting it up. If you always get in the habit of setting up 2 rings off, when you get on that hole that you haven't played in a long time, and you're trying to remember it, it'll remind you like, hey, this is kind of where I needed to set it up. Like, 1 ring great to the right. Gave myself lots of room so that I shouldn't have any problems on a one ring grate to the left or the right. But a perfect would have been, that got me a little closer actually, but a perfect would have been better. You can see how the course is there, and a perfect, the fairway's deeper. If you hit a grate to the left or the right, you start running in a fairway faster. Alright, let's see if we can get in the hole this time. I think I left it a little short last time we were here. Or did I leave it long? I think I made it, maybe I was long. Couple rings off. I want to put on a little backspin. I think I put on a little topspin last time. Started off a little to the right. That's 1 bar. See if that releases. 3.4 divided by 2, 1.7 rings. 1.7. Hitting it perfect. I thought I hit that great. A little too much backspin, but that was definitely like a half a backspin. And that was 2 rings off on the other side. That'll be easy to remember. It's not a good game until we're in the hole, and I've missed enough putts that I don't like saying it's a good game. I don't want to jinx myself. Not that I believe in that shit, but why be a... That's where you do that stuff, especially when somebody's being a D-bag and you're giving them... and they're emoji spamming you, and then you make a shot and you say something, and then they turn around and make some spectacular shot, beat you in the shootout. I prefer not to give them any ammunition. I just keep my mouth shut. It pisses them off. I like being able to turn off my chat and they don't know on the other side that you've turned it off, so you know they're sitting there wasting their time doing the shit and you don't have to put up with it at all. It's awesome. Awesome. Backbone, it's 1 ring. 1 ring plus 0.1. It's 1 ring plus 0.1. Let's say half. And then I hit it great. And I will lose this one because you can't be that far away. You gotta be right on it. I was using a sliver of left-hand side spin. And I think maybe a quarter top spin. And I know I'm 2 rings off of that rough area. This is an interesting green. If you ever get screwed up here and you end up over on this side, you can't get to the cup. I mean, you can't get to the cup. Unless you go over the rough, you can't get to the cup. So if you're not on this side of the green over here, you are screwed. And I think I came on here one day and I shanked it, or I did something, or was running out of time and let it go, or was doing some shit and ended up on that side over there. And I hit it and I was like, oh, I'm up on the green, I'll just make the putt. And then I got up there and I was like, shit, you can't make the putt. You can't get there. I can't believe I won that. That's little holes like that, people. The wind ring method will help you out, because you can, like, even if you don't hit it, if you get your speed right, and speed to me is more important than accuracy, because if you're off on the left or the right hand side of the cup, which in the mass majority of times you're going to miss the cup on the left or the right hand side, I'll bet. Anybody want to take that bet? I will bet money that happens more often than you making it in the hole, which happens, but not as much. Wouldn't you like to stop right where the cup was every time? And how many more shootouts you'd win? So distance is more important than accuracy, in my opinion. In my humble opinion. So being off to the side there doesn't irritate me as much as not having stopped where I was straight across from the cup. This hole right here, there's 2 holes that I can think of in the game that I play sniper with my upper develop bag, and here it's Viper. And I think my extra mile has just enough backspin that I can go all the way to minimum club. And I want to be right where my opponent's at. I want to be a little short of where my opponent's at, actually. There's the red line. I'm going to come up about 3 rings from the red line and put on just a smidgen of backspin. 2.9, it's 2.4 per ring. That leaves me 5. So it's a ring, and I'm going to do a ring and a quarter. What the hell? Who's counting? Hitting it perfect. And my sniper hits at if you have an upper developed sniper, it hits at 172. And what I'm looking for is this lane to this little opening right here onto the green. I want to be as straight on that as possible. The cup is off to the side, so you still have to spin it around. But my opponent has made this angle sharper than what I'm going to do it, because I'm out on this plane. So I won't have to spin it as much to get around to the cup. And with a one side spin ball, I have a little bit of spin, but and if I get the right angle, that spin is enough. But when you come up and you put yourself where my opponent's at, you put that sand more into play. Max backbone. Right there. And go right to the red line. I can get that second bounce on the .6 divided by 1.7. 1.52 rings. That's just straight up. No extra stuff, just 152. 152, exactly. And then I had a great. Arrgh! And that is a shit putt to have to make right there. That is bad. This is a putt that I will miss. More often than I should. Less often than not. But still, this is a long ass putt for me, and I'm not really good at long ass putts. I had a chance. If I had my speed, if I would have ended right at the cup, I had a chance. Good game. Fucking miss a putt. That is so shit. Sandra will not play again. They're like, hell no, dude. You missed that putt. I'll take my money and run. Rat bastards. I can't blame that on anybody but me. That is why I'm a big fan of being closer. I can't believe it scooted out like that. That's the grate coming into play. That ball would have responded totally different on the on a perfect. Four one. I'm going to do 2 rings. That's 4-8. Perfecto. Perfecto. All right, on this next one, I added on too much backspin last time. I was at like a whole bar, so I'm going to add on just like a half a backspin. Oh, brown stuff. 3.6 divided by 2, 1.8 rings. Right at the red line puts me 2 rings off. A sliver of backspin. Three, 6, 1.8 rings. Hitting it perfect. I think that's the first time I've hit it perfect on there. And I was aiming to the right because I thought it was going to break, but I was still going too fast for it to catch the break. And one backspin seemed like it was too much. The one thing I don't like about that shot is I don't like setting up shots where I'm right up against the red line, especially on a hole like this where getting into this spot right here is going to be pretty consistent. So this second shot's going to be pretty consistent coming up there. And if I start right up against the red line on the second shot, I have no room for the days where I get on here and I've got any wind on this side of the line. So if I pulled back and started it with 3 rings off of that, that gives me at least 1 ring. And with that club, that's 2 miles an hour, so it gives me at least the first 2. And if the wind's coming at any angle, it can lengthen that out. So it'd have to be a due headwind for me to just have the 2. And then I'd probably have to put on like a titch of topspin, just a sliver. All right. How much time we got on this video? 43 minutes. We still got some time. Still got time to play maybe 3 more matches. Just play some Tour 3, work on my commons down here, if nothing else. It really will not take that long to get my commons up pretty high in level. I think my other account, I've played as high as Tour 5 in that account, but the mass majority of the games, I played 1,000 games. And I think I've won 700 or 800 of those. And it's got, I think it has 2 or 3 commons that are maxed out, but I don't have the 300 extra in them. And then I've got like 4 or 5 other commons that are within 100 of being maxed out. And it doesn't take that long when I was playing it to get to 1,000 games, and I could literally be competing in there or playing in the club card challenge, the club trading. This is a bag for that right there. $1.8. I'm going to do one whole ring. That's 2.4. Isn't it perfect? Now where it may cause me troubles is on the second bounce, clipping that rough right there, and I just barely missed it. If I clip it, it bleeds out, and then you're a long freaking way. I'm still a long ways away, but with a Marlin in that club, that's about the best that I could do. And I could have taken that shot from there with the Viper. I think I'd be like out in this area, and I'd still have a pretty good distance to get there. During tournament play, if you come up there with the right ball and the right setup, there is a super dangerous rough bump that you can do on this hole. But you have to be in the right spot on the drive, and then you got to have the right stuff. You got to have a horizon in your bag for this, and there is a rough bump that you can do off of this rough right there in front of where I'm at. Big dog. Max Club, 2.5 per ring. I'm opening myself up, trying to get it to go down that fairway. 2.7. Big Dog's 2.5. I'm going to do one whole ring plus 0.2. Puts me about half a ring into power. Max curl. And that was 2 rings great to the left. And the last time I came through here, I was good to the right. And I still could adjust my topspin. I've been reluctant to get long because those freaking Golf Clash signs are in play. And you can get behind them, and it totally jacks the deal. Like, I should be able to play. It's total bullshit that those are in play. You guys want to advertise on the course, but at least take the shit out of play. They do not run races in NASCAR with fucking Coca-Cola signs on the top of their car. It'd be blowing off into the fans. Come on. Do you have to be dicks to us? Don't answer that. Hitting it perfect. We'll see if wind was a factor. Wind was a little bit. I aimed at the other side. I was aiming on the left-hand side. I was actually off the flagpole, and it came in and hit right on the edge of the right-hand side of the flagpole, so it moved it over a quarter of a cup. So that wind was definitely in play from that distance. So I hedged my bet. If wind wasn't in play, I would have had a perfect and a great to the right. And if wind was in play, I had a perfect and possibly, if the speed was right, a great to the left. The boomerang. It is the boomerang. It's nice to have a little bit of coins. Winning that tournament helped out. Got 300,000 coins. That's a stake. That's all you need. I will never have to worry about coins again. 41 yards. No ball guide. No topspin. The Firefly is the one. Here we go. Rude guest. This is not the hole. This is a trick hole. If we got headwind on this and my opponent brings out a big ball, cheating bastards, it definitely makes the hole easier. And there is no way in hell I'm hitting over there when you can go for the green and one. I'd rather end up in the sand or the rough right next to the green than to hit it over here. My opponent doesn't have many more games than me, so they don't have much better shit or any better shit than I do. What? Okay, let me show you how to play this hole. They are down there as far as they can get. They got a straight up shot at it. Okay, I'm right at the red line. See where my second bounce is at? So if I curl it, if I apply all the little bit of curl that I have, this is going to swing across this arc and it'll catch this and then bounce over. 3.3 divided by 2.4 is 1.37 rings. We'll say 1.4. And I hit it one ring great to the right, which is going to either put me in the sand or I'll end up in the rough right there. Sand. And I'd rather take this shot, at least with my upper developed account, because from there it's not always, but if you can hit it perfect, it's going to go in the hole. They have a shit ton of work to get done from there. If I can hit my shot perfect, it's going to go in the hole. They've obviously taken that shot before because they know what the deal is. But I will tell you, on that drive shot, if they screwed that drive shot up, they're screwed. If I screwed my drive shot up, there is the possibility you could end up in the drink if you really shank it. But here we go. Hitting it perfect. In the hole! Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Good game. Good game, my man. Good game. And I got a gold. There we go. Got a playa. Connect to Facebook to see which friends are playing. You got to connect to Facebook if you want to get an avatar. Which is totally bullshit. You should be able to go into your Golf Clash account and pick whatever you want. But no. Okay, it's 2.4. 4 divided by 2.4. 1.66 rings. I'm going to round it up to 1.7 because we're downhill and we got a tailwind. There's 1.7, and that's not enough, but I got enough rim in front of me. It's not that big of a deal. Hit a one ring great to the right. With that little bit of curl, that could cause me a problem right there. Just eked it through. I'm trying to get past these little tall grasses there. If you can get on the other side of it, you can go straight at it. There's a rough bump that you can do if you got the right clubs. If you bring a Goliath on this hole and you can get past, you don't have to get past the tall grass, but if you get past the tall grass, the angle's a little better. That tall grass is, you're right here in this corner on the sand trap. If you can get past that tall grass, so you need to get right out here on the tip of this so that you have that shot. There's another shot from here that you can do, where you can lay it up short, and if you have a Goliath, you can do a rough bump. If you get all the way down on the end, you can do it with a grizzly. I actually think if you get all the way to the end, you're in hornet range. You can't use a kingfisher. It doesn't have enough topspin. Nice shot. Nice shot, my man. Good to go. Yeah, you can do this rough bump from right here. Goliath. What do I have? What is my Goliath? It's 3.1 per ring. Let's try and put one of those bounces in the hole. Maybe we'll get lucky. .6. Goliath is 3.1. 3.6 divided by 3.1. I actually don't know that I'm at max club. I didn't check. Made an error, but I'm going to make a max pull. And hit it great to the right. I could have tried to pull back a little closer to the rough area there, but when you're playing one-on-one, it's always a good idea to leave yourself 2 rings of separation. If you over pull it, or that way you're not involving the rough in the play. You're trying to go for it, but the deal is that you don't want to screw yourself when you're playing one-on-one when your opponent's right behind you. Even if your opponent screwed up and you know that they're going to have to struggle to do the shot, you don't want to help them out by give yourself some room. They better check their spin. When you drop back to a different club and you come back up, if the club behind doesn't have the same kind of spin features, it'll change the spins. So it's always a good idea to check, like if you switch between clubs, to make sure that all of the spin's the same. In the hole on a grate. I told you I wasn't a good putter. Come on. Come on. How much time we got? Well, we have time for this one. Then we're right at an hour. Hopefully I'll win this, and maybe I'll end up with 3 golds and a silver. It's a draw. There's a rough bump that you can do on this as well if you've got a Goliath. From right here. And we don't have ball guides, so we can't see where the hell we're going, but there is a rough bump that you can do from right there. Maybe 2 rings off. Where's my max? There's max. Maybe 3 rings off. That puts me a little more towards mid. Just a sliver of backspin, like half a backspin. 1.5. Goliath at mid is 3.7. 1.5 divided by 3.7. 0.4 of a ring. Hitting it perfect. Barely. I was thinking about shooting video and talking and drawing on the screen and doing all the stuff, and then I still got the same shot clock as you. And I was probably like at 75% club. Once again, I didn't check to see where I was at. That should be the first thing you do. Like, you get on the course, find out where your maximum, where are you at in your club. If you've taken the shot a bunch of times, then you know. Now you're spending your time setting it up because you've practiced that hole and you know what the deal is. But when you're playing one-on-one and you're maybe in a varying spot on the drive, just depending, use low-level stuff. Don't waste your good stuff on one-on-one. I think I won. It's close. It's close. 451. That was not good, but I was better. I was better. Let's see if they want to play one more time. If they do, even though I don't have a slot, I will replay if they want to replay. They don't. I would normally push the button, but I didn't really want to replay because I don't like to play without an empty slot. There we go. There we have it. That was some practice in Tour 3, just one-on-one, trying to get better, trying to get my clubs up. Still looking for a freaking Big Topper Horizon and a Kingfisher without having to pay $5 for it. That's total bullshit that I haven't gotten them so far. Total BS. But I do have, it seems like I do have like the skewer. I got the skewer and I got a rock. Rock's not bad. Doesn't have any spin. It does have a little bit more distance than the QB. A little. But the QB's got better stuff. So there's a long period of time the QB will be your better accurate club, and then the rock will take over. And then when you get your Thor's hammer maxed out, it's the club. It's the club. All right, there you have it. Thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe. Hit the like button. That helps out. Leave a comment. Let me know if the videos are helping, or if you got somebody new in the game or new in your clan and they're just looking for some help with the lower level stuff, or you're trying to get somebody involved. Maybe it'll help them. Maybe it won't, but maybe it will. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.